Steam-Powered Scoundrels, a Malifaux podcast. Episode 85, Neverborphanage.
Actually talking about the actual subject at any time soon, because our listeners absolutely love themselves a cold open if they know it's good for them. That's what my family got me.
Aw, that's adorable.
It's strawberry scented.
Nice. Is it scratch and sniff or just scented?
It's a car freshener, so I hope it's just scented.
Yeah.
I found it and I asked the girls if we needed it, and Briar was very insistent.
You're raising them right.
Yep. Yeah. They have no idea that I like opossums. No idea at all.
They didn't gather that from any evidence-based.
There's no clues. How could they have known?
How could they know? Doug, I'm gonna be real. I misread your title card off a quick glance, and I was very concerned for a moment.
Yeah, no, it's back in blue, not back in blue.
Back in blue.
Yikes!
I was like,
oh no,
Douglas.
Since when, sir?
Douglas Jonathan Scoundrels.
Back to blue into a wood chipper.
Yes.
Hi, welcome back to Steam-Powered Scoundrels. I am your host and now on a list, Douglas Scoundrels. And with me is just the four rigs. We really got to get Eli back at some point, if Eli still wants to come back. But I'm still going to say there's five of us.
Eli's schedule needs to not be hot garbage.
Yeah.
That's step one.
Yep.
The real villain of Malifaux is Eli's schedule.
At least the real villain of Steam-Powered Scoundrels.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So, this is going to be our celebratory start of 4th edition episode.
Yay!
We're finally into 4th edition officially.
Woo.
Like, did they have like an official now go? It's 4th edition now.
Kind of. I think it's kind of still mid-pending because like the app is still in early release.
Oh, okay.
So, you know.
Yep. Well, there's that, and while the beta is closed, we know from previous happenings and from Justin saying so, there might be a last-minute change or two before things get to the printer. So we're in this weird little limbo time of it's 4th edition, but we're all still playing with printed off the beta cards.
Adjustments are still being made.
Exactly.
Okie dokie.
Many of them in our own heads.
Yeah, and it is wonderful that we keep having these discussions about rule things that we never bothered to like question until this kind of closed. Like that whole long discussion about strategy markers. That was fun.
Strategery.
But we can go over that later. So, right, 3 of us have played a decent amount of 4th edition, and one of us is interested in playing 4th edition. So Victoria is going to be the person to ask questions, and is our like excited newbie, right? Can you at least pretend?
I can be the newbie.
Okay.
Excited is asking too much.
The intrigued newbie.
Yes, that
There
was
we go.
Yeah. Interesting.
I won't even make a botanical pun out of that one because I'm so happy.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yay. Okay, so 4th edition is out, and Jacob Lynch is too powerful. Please nerf him.
Immediately out the gate with the misinformation.
I think it is officially going to be a gag with Steam-Powered Scoundrels that we're just going to declare Lynch to be too powerful to start each edition.
Now, he does look good. I'll be real.
Mm-hmm.
You haven't introduced us properly.
Oh shit! Yeah, I'm the Douglas Scoundrels, and with me are the 4 usual suspects. I think that was technically the introduction.
There's 3 of us with you.
I said we're the 4 usual suspects.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, with me correcting me as Victoria Scoundrels. But
it's my job. I'm your wife. If I can't correct you, who can?
My editor upstairs, Victoria.
That's me.
Uh-huh. And the man with the metaphorical basement, Roman.
Which one of us is Kaiser Soze? You called us the usual suspects.
Fuck. I'm not firing on all cylinders. I'm like at a cylinder and a half here. And the man with an actual basement, Nate.
Yeah, I do have a basement. That is true.
Okay.
I have nothing funny to say about that.
So, we talked about this before, like in spring, about the stuff we were like excited for and apprehensive about with 4th edition. So, I guess we can start with like shit we're excited for with this game, changes that we think are really, really good. I mean, we can also talk about things that we are maybe less excited for, but this is what the game is now, so it's not like we're going to convince Weird to go back to 3rd edition. I don't think we should go back to 3rd edition. Things need to change. If for them to like still be a company, things need to change, and for the game to continue to exist as a game and not get stagnant, things need to change. And I like this edition.
Same.
So, okay. Yeah. So stuff I like. 4 rounds is good. 4 rounds is very good. I still did enjoy the sort of positioning strategery of round 1s from 2nd and 3rd edition, but with a mind towards speed, this is better. It is. My only one gripe with it is that it's still a little janky with corner deployment. Like corner deployment's just the odd man out with a lot of this, with a lot of 4th edition, it feels like.
It really does kind of change the math on a lot of things, like especially when it comes to, particularly a lot of schemes. It's just like, well, this is, unless I'm building or playing a very specific crew, this is incredibly difficult.
I wonder how much of that, because honestly, I think things like flank change the math on the schemes a lot too, just in a different way than corner does. Corner, it becomes, I think, a broader question of, am I trying to score turn 1, or am I trying to get positional or numbers advantage, and hopefully still scoring at least the strat? Whereas I think in flank, more things are on the table for more crews, whereas in corner, I think more things are, if not off the table, you're fighting uphill to score them for most crews. Why your table is at an angle, I do not know. You should probably take it back to the store and get a flat one.
It remains to be seen. It worries me slightly that is it going to be a problem for crews that can fairly reasonably score on corner? Are they going to be a frustration to play against for crews that can't do it as easily? We'll see. I think the reason that we have corner is because Weird didn't want to change the mats. I think that's the reason it still exists.
That entirely reasonable.
I mean, like it wasn't good to say. It was the smart decision to do. But it still seems to just jar slightly. But like that is a bigger decider now for how you design your crew than scheme pool. I think now. Scheme pool might have influenced your crew a lot more in 3rd edition. Now I think your deployment zone matters more towards that than your initial schemes. That's my thought.
I can see that.
I overall agree. I know I saw it in one of the Discord channels the other day it was one of the discussions Monica was having about giving a demo to local folks. But the edition makes the base rules easy as far as things to learn compared to 3, but it makes figuring out what you want your crew to do more difficult. And I think part of that is because the schemes evolve, and so much of the game flows from that and the terrain. So you can plan out, thinking about like a tournament or something, you can plan out a couple different options for going through the scheme path, but you can't plan for the terrain. So I think the game this edition is going to be more, it's going to be more improv than it was all last edition, which I think is good overall for the health of the game. I think that's going to make it more difficult for the super competitive folks to get as consistently super competitive blowout about things between that and damage overall. I've heard people say that this is the most painful, most damagey edition. That has not been my experience. My experience has been damage is much more random at happening in large amounts. So I think those two things are going to lead to, by design, a more casual game for a wider audience, which is good for Weird. Not saying it can't be played competitively, it definitely can, but I think the uber competitive players can take their foot off the gas a little bit because there's less of a push down on that pedal possible.
Go ahead.
So what I'm hearing is that there's going to be like a decrease in like this is the correct list type of play. Is that what you're thinking?
I would say so. In my experience so far, the whole, I don't know, maybe 10 games I've played since the edition actually started. The one asterisk I'd put on that is there will definitely be models you'll go, I don't really have a reason to hire this, except that one of the scheme paths I'm thinking of has this particular scheme on it, and that model does this really well. So I'm going to bring it. It's going to score me that point, I hope. And if it dies after that, I don't care. It is a body. I'm
very curious about that comment about it being a more murdery game, because I feel are they realizing that the game is probably compressed down from 5 rounds to 4? So if it retains the same amount of killing as the old 3rd edition game, then there's technically more in 4 rounds, but it's supposed to be in one singular game. But also, I'm wondering what the scores were of those games, because a lot of the times for a lot of the time, at least for me, the decision is, do I score or do I fight?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's a lot of what I've found as well, is that like you can end up getting like the last game I played where I was winning good fights, but that came at the cost of actually scoring points in a significant way, like more significant than I think I even felt ever in 3rd edition, where like if I could win a fight, I could usually enough fights I could push through to a point, depending on what the strat and scheme pool obviously were. But in this case, it was just like I could win the fights, and then it's like, well, I'm running out of time to actually do anything else, though.
Mm-hmm. Now, the majority of my wins with my local group was me losing fights a lot, but like actually scoring schemes and strategy a lot of the time.
Yeah, I would definitely agree. It's going to be, in some ways, I liken this kind of as a return to 2nd. You're going to have to get better at reading the board at the moment to see what schemes your opponent could score in like the next activation. And some of that's just going to be being aware of the possible schemes they've picked, how many score at the end of the turn, how many score at the end of an enemy activation.
Mm-hmm.
But like being aware of that and going, oh, well, this is setting up for that, or this is setting up for this. But being aware of that and reading the table, as opposed to 3rd at a certain point, I don't want to say it was solved, but it definitely had that kind of, well, this and that are in the pool. That crew can score this and that really well. Those are the schemes they took, probably. I don't have to really watch the table specifically for that. I have to try and get in their way and then hope I can, and maybe I can't. So it was much more of a, here's your expectation, see if the table ends up matching the map, quote unquote, you have in your head to that. Whereas this, I think, is going to be more of a play-by-play, what is possible at the moment. Which, again, I think is going to be, once someone has the base rules down, I think that, again, kind of flattens the playing field a little bit in a good way. Of your more experienced players are going to be able to read that table with less on it to point to something, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they'll be able to immediately take advantage of it. In the same ways that, like, if I know in 3rd you have these 5 schemes to choose from, if I kill X model, you don't have the amount of minions for public demonstration or something. And they can you could kind of, in a lot of cases, checkmark off by process of elimination what the opponent could do. And I don't think you can do that as much here, just because even if you ever do, your opponent go, oh, not doing that scheme anymore. Next.
All right. Let's continue talking about things we love about this edition. I love the number 4. It's just better than the number 3 overall.
Okay, but we're really going to pop off when we hit 7th.
That's gonna be great. I wonder what the font's gonna be.
No, I mean, Lynch is gonna be really good though in 7th.
He's gonna be so busted in 7th. You have no idea.
Release day, just insane.
Yeah, by that time, I'm pretty sure he's gonna be like real close to finally overdosing. Any day now.
No, at that point, he will have overdosed, and Huggy will have found like their long lost sibling, who is essentially producing Narcan.
Well, that's his new title. Jacob Lynch overdosed.
Ah, perfect.
But like he's just literally just full of drugs. He is overdosed.
Okay. I thought it was going to be like a Weekend in Bernie's kind of situation, and then weird the entire time is going to be advertising it like a puppet master.
It's Graves and Tannen carrying him around.
Bait and switch everyone into expecting Collodi to come back.
Oh, that'd be good
to piss them off.
Weekend at Collodi's does roll off the tongue.
People would be so mad.
I would be so mad.
Oh my god.
On the other hand, that would be a masterful work of Weird stringing them along for like 4 editions.
Fuck.
Boo. Anyway, back to 4th.
Yeah, back to 4th. Stuff we love. Just prattle off. We don't have to. We have no rhyme or reason to this. It's us just winging it in this episode. So thank you for giving me Bass in the best faction. Super happy because he is going to definitely be my second master. I'm still trying to figure out my third. I don't even know if having a trio for competitive play is still going to be a thing this edition, because I know Weird is definitely trying to make individual keywords a lot more viable for like a whole day of play. I'm still going to try to master 3 though.
I was just saying, I could see shaking out eventually where like maybe rolling up with a duo of keywords, like maybe the kind of thing where it's the keywords that share like the models from Ashes. You roll up with those 2 keywords and they kind of cover whatever bases the other one doesn't. Then you roll in with your versatiles and you've got a pretty good tournament kit right there. Again, speaking from that kind of angle. But I think a lot of people will probably be able to just kind of butterfly between keywords.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think that's going to make 3 or more keywords in your bag a bad thing, but I think it's going to be easier to go, well, I only brought these 2 keywords and versatiles. We're good to go.
Yeah.
But having that third one available as a difficult matchup, difficult deployment, difficult
this is my corner master
terrain.
Or if you're you're playing Neverborn and you need your informants keyword, so you brought Euripides.
Yeah, exactly. Or I think every faction for their corner deployment is going to bring their fast crew. So Zip, sadly, no longer Bayou. I was looking at Bayou the other day. And because my brain, as I put in my little subtitle here, my brain was just like, you're focusing on wedding shit and you can't like put shit on the table as much as you want to. Go look at another faction that you want to put on the table that you're not going to, so you can actually figure out a keyword. And I looked at Angler and I was like,
Angler's
oh shit,
damn fast.
Yeah, you're my fast Bayou crew now.
They're the fast keyword. They schmoove.
Whee! Yeah, no, I specifically hadn't looked at them too much. I really hadn't looked at Bayou closely too much, except for the couple conversations Nate and I had about them, but other than Brewy, like, I gotta look at Brewy. But yeah, no, I think every faction's gonna have that fast keyword. Those, I think, will be likely to be seen on corner, matchup and table and whatnot, depending. But otherwise, yeah, I think 2 or even 1 keyword, if you know both titles. Maybe you have a couple out of keyword models for specific reasons in your bag. I think all of this is another way of reducing the barrier to entry. If you know 1 crew decently, you can go at a tournament and just go with the expectation of, I am going to play 3 fun games today and have a good time, which is spectacular, I think.
Speaking of fast, did you know that Somer Teeth Jones can move 40 inches in 1 activation?
Oh.
Why?
No, I did not.
I'm assuming he's not actually walking. He's making other people walk.
Well,
for
no,
him.
he is. He would be making himself walk with the signature action. and also getting an additional 4 inches, but he would be taking 8 damage in the process.
Oh, good lord. Okay.
That's fine.
Yeah, it's not something he can do easily, but it is a thing he can do.
That's very cartoony.
Yep. While we were talking about fast models, I just thought that was funny.
If you want to spend 2 stones on it, Karis Iron Threaded can move something like 15 inches at the start of her activation for the cost of 2 stones.
Mm-hmm.
And not spending an action on it.
And then she can touch the stupid Boilermaker and then teleport.
That's
part of the process. Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah, you redline for 1 stone, which is a walk.
Yep.
Actually, no, excuse me. That gets her, so long as you have her totem where you want it, that's going to be a walk of 9, because that'll give her hastened, plus the base of the Boilermaker, plus 6 inches, plus her base. So yeah, something like huge. And then she has her activation.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
I think I'll be fine with Tony.
Yeah.
Like I got enough speed with 2, but 1 actually is like a counter trap play for people that are overextending. I think is good viability. Also, if I really need to do shit and my opponent's on the side of the board, I could just buy a sandworm.
Unionize the sandworm.
Oh no. Oh, that's moderately terrifying.
Oh boy.
It's like, hold on, no, from the shadows, this thing.
Yeah, look, sandworm.
I am looking forward to Bass the more I look at him on paper. I'm trying to just look at him surface level conceptually until the models are actually like in the new boxes, because that's one keyword I never actually picked up anything for. So I'm hoping there's new sculpts, especially on some old things like Ostringers.
I'm sure there will be.
Yeah.
There has to be.
Actually, I haven't looked at the.
He lost a good amount of stuff. I think he had a lot of things in the keyword, so it's not
a lot of stuff.
Yeah,
they threw a lot of things at him. That's fine. Other things really like in 4th edition. I think the beta went real well for the most part.
Yeah,
like they could only listen so much to everyone's gripes, but like a lot of the stuff I had, like I hyper fixated on Tony. I think everyone knew that. What? No way. And a decent amount of the stuff that I had frustrations with was addressed. Mm-hmm. Some of it wasn't, but like they can't fix everything, and we still have probably several years of errata to go. And I think the majority of my current gripes are either just sort of leftovers from the model was designed this way and the theming or how the whole crew was kind of moved this other way and it just hasn't been cleaned up, or B, it was, I think someone said that it was one of the first keywords that was designed and it still kind of has that old feel to it, like it was designed for a slightly different game. But again, that can just be adjusted slightly with errata and whatnot. Like there's still in Tony 1, they're still panning out focused, which is really, really pointless in that crew now.
Yeah. I don't know that it's pointless. It's more pluses you can do. It becomes a defense against distracted, things of that nature.
I'm getting like triple positive flips in that crew.
And I don't think that's pointless. I think that's really good.
Diminishing returns.
Yes, but
I would
go ahead. Well,
I would take any other positive token.
That's fair. I see where you're coming from. The thought process I've had now that the beta's done is errata's far enough down the road. I'm kind of looking at the things where they're not jumping out to me as like, ooh, yes, I will hire this. I want to look at those and go, but when would I? Is this a matchup thing? Is this a scheme thing? Mm-hmm. In Performer, Dorian is probably top of that list just because parts of him are still designed like third ed, which I understand where they're coming from, but like he's still slow. If anything, the crew as a whole got faster, and the way he's moving friends and doing stuff, he has trouble keeping up.
Oh.
So yes, you can support him with other things like Colette prestoing him and whatnot, but do I want to spend 7 on him or 7 on Carlos? And when do I want to spend 7 on him? So I've been looking at, as opposed to, is this a miss? It's more of a, when would I? Just as a different lens to put on it. And I've been finding that helpful. with getting past gripes.
I do want to say, though, Tony does very much feel like a union again.
Awesome.
Like, initially at the start of the open beta, there was that real awkwardness of her just not really feeling like a part of her keyword. Tony 2 was always good.
Yeah.
But like, there's that. Had a game of Seamus last week. He feels real good. He feels great. Maybe not against WoW, but that was because it was what WoW did. And if you don't know what WoW does, you're going to lose to WoW.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
What does WoW do, Doug?
Let me preface this with, they are balanced by the fact that they are primarily supposed to be squishy. But they hand out possibly the most frustrating token in the game because its benefit is keyed off of when it's removed. So bringing token removal only benefits your opponent. What that does is the token, when it's removed, the WoW keyword gets to push the model that had the token on them 4 inches and then place a ski marker next to them. So normally at the end of the turn, you either have to discard a card for the model with the token on it or the token's removed. So like baseline, you can stall it for the entire game if you have cards to discard, which you're never going to have enough cards to discard. Or your opponent's just going to get free schemes at the end of the turn. Plus, displacing your models. But also, this is at least WoW 1, they can just strip it for a positive flip on their attack. And after that attack's done, then the effects of the token go off immediately.
That seems all right.
Yeah. Again, they're supposed to be balanced by being fragile. I think that is true. I just didn't bring enough murder. And I didn't focus enough on murder, even though that's what Seamus is supposed to do. Also, bringing damage 3 models to self-harm models is not smart. I learned. Seamus is great. Sense. Seamus feels very good, and it feels a lot. It's not nearly as feels bad because he's not doing a damage blasting,
popping in and deleting a model every turn.
Yeah, actually, he can still do that, but it's through a bunch of attacks.
Right. Mm-hmm. There's engagement to it. It's not, I have this good card, your model died. Thank you. And then like turn 4 and 5, he's just a scheme runner.
I always argued all of last edition, Seamus scheme running was 80% of the time the right thing to do.
Yeah, a lot of
and
the
just
time.
Be the threat of gun.
Mm-hmm. It's a real threatening gun.
Yep.
If you're scheme running with your master, things have gone well.
I mean, in that case, your master also has secret passage, which really helps.
Yeah.
Like I rarely scheme ran with Tony, but did it plenty of times with Howard in my old classic M3E list, and that was always like a good sign. If I didn't need him for the hazardous, it meant things were really going really well for me.
Yeah.
Any other keywords we can think of that like feel real good?
McCabe.
Yeah.
Yeah. McCabe is wicked fun. I need to play Horse Cabe more because so the trick with him is he's developed, or rather found out through arcane, entirely legally obtained knowledge, figured out how to get back on his horse.
No. So we in Lewis have a headcanon about this. He no longer has one horse. He now, whenever he comes into a fight, there's a whole herd of horses surrounding the battlefield.
So shut the fuck up. He's a Pokemon master.
But every time he gets off his horse, then he has to get back on it. He summons a new horse from the herd that's surrounding the battlefield, and just it could be anywhere. They're just at all angles. There's always a horse available.
From Button'sdale, I choose you.
Also, I love that he goes full John Wick if Luna dies.
Yep. Oh, you kill, and I love that gives you a reason to not have Luna just hang in the back like she did all last edition.
Right.
Being best girl of, hi, I dug up a body. Like, she's still not immediately exactly does that, but she still supports the getting out of the relics, but you're actually going to, like, get her into melee and be like, do you want to hurt my dog? I wouldn't want to hurt my dog. Yeah, no, I really like the fact that you can start him as on foot to hand out relics and then jump on the horse to go. But then Tomb Delver is also just both crews are fast. Horse is just fast in different ways. Tomb Delver, I think, from my couple, and this is pre the errata, or not errata, the beta closing, for my couple games with him, he's still fast, but he's fast, and I want to get into the middle of everything and be a problem, versus Horse Cabe is, I'm going to go score points and shoot you from afar, which perfectly fine, but still very fun. I thought I was going to be very upset with where the Hucksters ended up when they turned into 4-stone models. I have very rarely eaten words about that or being upset about things with more gusto than I have about the Hucksters. They are delightful for 4 stones in the way the game plays now.
Any other like keywords callouts we want to be like, this is super duper awesome, cool?
I've been
Amazing.
mostly playing on Big Hat. I've been having a good time with them.
Nice.
I'm not crazy about playing Somer 1, unfortunately, in Bayou Boss. He's fun. Like I said, you can go 40 inches in a turn if you really want to take 8 damage and flip 4 6s. But I just, of the two, I prefer Lootmonger. Lootmonger is actually a crazy amount of fun. Just kind of incidental Bayou Gremlins popping up every once in a while. It kind of fills the role that Zip used to in Bayou, where it's very heavy scheme denial, which I tend to enjoy. I like frustrating people. It's, you
and me both, bud. You and me both.
It's that dark quirk in my personality. And just having Somer get rushed halfway across the table and then going and keeping Ivan held up for a game feels fun.
Which Ivan?
Ivan too.
Okay, yeah, that's, I think, easier to do.
I'm sorry, the first thought in my head when you asked which Ivan was like English.
No, French Ivan, clearly.
Definitely not Russian Ivan. None of those.
Gaelic Ivan.
Gaelic Ivan. Whereas
let's see other things.
Comparatively with Somer 1, it's very much, I recognize the power. It's very much like you can very easily overwhelm and win fights with Somer 1. It's like, I get it. It's not what I want to do, but I get it. I can see a route to victory with this.
There's a crew I really want to try. That is one I have not played before, but I, as of Gen Con, have a nicely painted crew of it because of a friend. Thank you, John. And that is Lord Cooper.
I didn't hear about this.
Yeah. But yeah, looking through the cards, the crew looks, they're scratching an itch in my brain that they have never done before. And I am excited about that. I'm also scratching my head over, hey, Ivan doesn't have ungentlemanly affairs like turn negatives to positives anymore, but Cooper does. I'm like, hang on.
He's the most ungentlemanly one there is.
That's very true.
Actually, I want to take a look at Cadmus at some point now.
I haven't played against them since the beta ended, but the little I did during, I know there's Cadmus players out there who are not fans of where they ended up, but facing them is actually fun now.
Yeah, that would be my preference.
So, yeah,
I do really like the models and the aesthetic of the keyword. It's just, it was never, didn't look or seem fun to play last edition.
Yeah. Vic, are there any crews that are jumping out at you as, ooh, I want to try that out?
The few activations I got to play with Terra felt really good.
Nice.
I mean, beyond that, it's usual suspects. Molly, Seamus. I didn't really get a chance to play around with the Strange Lady in 3E, so I kind of want to see what her deal is. As far as other keywords, I'm not entirely sure. Nothing in particular is super jumping out at me right now.
Totally fair. And honestly, it sounds like you have 2 in mind, and then maybe wanting to try Terra some more later. That's a great starting point. I would, in fact, recommend stopping looking at things at that point until you get a couple games in with all of them, just so you have that baseline knowledge of a crew or 2 without going, oh my god, I have 50 cards to figure out between 4 crews, which is still way low. And my brain is melting out of my ears. Why am I doing this again? Much better to go, here's a crew. Cool. Molly plays this way. Here's another crew. Seamus plays this way. I know Molly had a couple updates after I'd tried her out, but when I tried her out, she was wicked fun. So I think you will have a good time there.
Strange Lady's awesome.
For the person playing the Strange Lady, absolutely.
3 obeys in a turn is perfectly fine. It's fine.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Sorry, I'm trying to think of what did Sean do to me when he was out here not too long ago. Well, he was playing Seamus, so already he's a bad person. Present company excluded. But yeah, no, the Keepside Strangers just going, hey, by the way, everybody over there gets entranced. No, you don't get any kind of save against it. Have fun. And then also Sybil goes, oh, slow, by the way, slow for you. It's a type of control that I don't think I've seen Seamus do before. It took me by surprise. Not in a bad way.
To be fair to me, I'm a much less skilled player than Sean is, so I'm sure whoever is up against me is not going to be complaining about the Strange Lady.
I'm not meaning that as any kind of a dig at really anybody but Sean.
Yeah.
And that's because I love him and he knows I can do that to him. But yeah, there are some potent portions of those crews, and I think that's true of pretty much every crew now. And for those of us fighting either addition hangover or beta hangover from what something was at one point versus now, one of the best things I've found is just go, instead of going, oh man, that took me by surprise, I don't know what to do now, go, do that, but with a sense of childlike wonder of, oh, what else might I not know about? It's a brand new world that I'm seeing for the first time. It's like I forgot my favorite movie and I get to watch it fresh for the first time. It's honestly kind of fun that way.
But you can also swear.
Exactly.
Okay, other stuff we love. I like the height changes.
Yes.
Yeah, I think
We should get
a lot of the
gonna
terrain
work with
rules
them
have worked out pretty well.
Mm-hmm. Locally, it's taken a couple games for most people to get some of them down, but I think we've developed a number of quick sayings that people have gotten, such as like elevation is where your feet are, and height is where your head is, kind of a situation. I think the other one that has come up the most has been you ignore the thing you're standing on, because the replacement for shadow rules, which is really just shadow rules, just without the term shadow to confuse everybody, and standardized to 2 inches for everybody who was complaining about shadow all of last edition and is fine with this now. It's the same thing, which again I think is fine. They fixed the problem of people were confused by it, but people were getting that so well that they were like, oh, but I'm on this building. I can't see them. I'm like, yes, you can. You're ignoring the building. You're standing on it. So the couple little hiccups we've had locally have gotten ironed out pretty well, which is my favorite thing about this edition as a whole. Teaching someone either old or new to the game, because we've had 1 or 2 like entirely new people show up. The demos I have given them have been the smoothest. Watching them take in the rules and kind of globbing them together in sensical ways has been the smoothest process out of either of the other editions I've played in this game. So spectacular there.
Yay.
Yeah.
I need to figure out a way to like actually get people into trying demos locally. I'll figure it out.
Yeah. I haven't figured out a good, like, hey, I'm just here at the shop, come play this thing yet. But essentially anytime someone new shows up in the local Discord, I'm like, what do you want to play? And if I have it, I'm like, I'm putting it in the bag. We can play this next time you're out. And so far, that has been Zip.
No way. Zip? People
Yeah.
like Zip?
People like Zip.
Like, except the Bayou faction. They kicked him out.
I'm reading that more as he moved out on his own
No, they had a vote. Like, we don't we
They
don't
grow
want
up so
we want the
fast.
old lady.
They do grow up so fast. Moving in with their significant others, robbing banks together.
Listen, we can't get rid of the old lady. We're stuck with her.
She got grandmothered
Very-
in.
Very fittingly, she's like a wart. It's all right. She shared the syllards with everyone now, so it's cool.
Yeah.
Yay.
Either that or McTavish is just like slowly herding out the swamp fiend
He's just
beasties
an
to be like,
amphibian farmer.
yeah, just go back into the swamp, guys. You don't need to hang out by the hut. It's safer for you out there.
Why is my mic still picking up stuff? Okay.
It's probably just some kind of background noise or something.
I hate it. Okay. Stuff we're excited for. 8th Blue Master.
Yes.
I'm very excited for that.
Mm-hmm.
Who could it be?
Could be anyone.
Could be anyone.
It could be a boat.
We finally get fluff about the Clampets because they become blue.
Hell yeah. I'd be fine with that. I'd be so fine with that.
And then that opens up room for the Black Dragon.
Exactly.
Oh no, we get the Black Dragon just to make Nate
Oh
bad.
no! Don't do that. Don't do that.
I will
He'll come for
I will
you.
absolutely have an aneurysm. The Cowards campaign will never be so strong.
Oh boy, I stand by my statement of I think it'd be really cool if we saw robot builder extraordinaire who'd made the choreography and Cooper's body, Campagnolo. I think, if I remember from the story of building Cooper's body, he would be wicked cool. That would essentially be a whole keyword of here's unique, stylish robots. And since we just lost Hoffman and a bunch of other constructs in faction, that would be pretty neat, I think.
Ramos, but better.
Yes.
Very low bar.
Different Ramos.
Yes. Yeah. And then we would kind of have two of them because Karis Iron Threaded is honestly the two games I've played of her. She plays a little bit like 2E Ramos, but she herself is wicked fast. Whereas Ramos was always, I am in the middle, you're never going to get rid of me, and the little bubble around me of spiders is going to just chew you to pieces. But Karis is like, the spiders are all over the place, there's only 3 of them, but you're cycling them because they're exploding. And I'm going to be flying around while you're dealing with that. Have fun. But yeah, there's the way of getting that kind of almost Ramos versus the and I don't know how they would do this mechanically, but the style of construct engineer that we've seen of Campagnolo is essentially, I don't do this for the money. I do this to see if I fucking can.
As for the art.
Exactly. I do it because I can. I would almost be interested to see him like one version is the summoner, one version is like I built myself an Iron Man suit or something like that. That would be interesting. I'm also perfectly fine with the Arcanist moving away from We Are the Union and Robot faction that they were very solidly in last edition, because we've lost primary robots and also some of the flavor of things like Marcus of different types of magic. So I'd be fine getting another different magic type person,
A different wizard.
coming in. Yeah.
Different
Well,
wizard.
we got Gun Wizard along with Punch Wizard. We have Ice Wizard, we have Fire Wizard, we have Illusionist, we have I've already forgotten who all I've mentioned. We have Arrogance Wizard, and we have Elemental Wizard.
Okay. Well, yeah, we have Prestidigitation, we have Sorcery. You kind of can't have Necromancy. I mean, you could, but you'd have to
But then we get back to Nate having an aneurysm.
you'd have to reflavor it because like Necromancy is present in the faction. It's just not what people expect. Like Obeys is technically a Necromancy spell.
Mhm.
But Enchanting is, technically it could be robots, but it could be something kind of similar to Hoffman, but like primarily buffing. Like it could have a sub theme of robots, but not necessarily just robots. Like I feel like Campagnola would be better as a henchman because he doesn't seem like a guy that has the sort of ambition and or ties to fate that a lot of other masters do. Like you said, like he just does it kind of for the fun. That's not really kind of master levels of this is how he can possibly affect the story of Malifaux.
I agree with you.
That hasn't stopped anyone to buy you.
Exactly. My one thought there is, you know who else I imagine at some point in their careers going, fuck it, I'll do this to be the best at doing it this way? The Tyrants.
That is literally what happened.
We already got Damien, though.
No, but I'm built different.
Okay,
Ding.
but Damien, but better.
Yeah.
Second Damien.
Also, for what it's worth, what I've seen of Damien this edition, he's at least on the table, again, fun to play against as opposed to last edition.
Mm-hmm. No, I'll be stealing some of his stuff, like especially
Marco?
blanking on her name. My bad.
Bella.
Bella. Yeah, range stun.
Yeah.
Just depending on your willpower is pretty darn nice.
Yep. Yeah. Whoever the 8th is, I trust Weird to either make someone new or pull someone out of like an early story like they did with Ivan.
Yeah.
And just make them wicked cool. Like there's
Mhm.
plenty of opportunity for them just come out of nowhere. So I'm very excited for them. Thunder's Master, I think there's probably less immediate things to pull from there just because they haven't been in the fluff directly as long. But I think there's probably a little more option for them to whip someone up new in there between things that are going on Earthside and here. Yeah, I don't know.
The hot furry.
The hot furry.
The Kitsune.
Ah,
From the other
yes,
side.
from
Yeah.
other side, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, but what about Rio Edwards,
Okay.
the pirate?
Fucking Rio. Stupid, sexy Rio. Goodness. So, going back to Blue again,
Marco?
people are like upset about Bass because he quote unquote doesn't fit. Do they not realize that Arcanists have always been like a fucking hodgepodge of various themes?
I think the thing where that's coming from is he's not overtly a wizard. And
Neither is Ironsides.
I know, and I agree with you. But primarily, like, Tony has previously been the odd person out there. Everybody else had their flavor of magic, and even she had, like, originally, the mages. And again, I think it's cool that they are expanding to show this still has an everyman aspect to it. And also, kind of in a meta thought, we lost Marcus, who was primarily beyond the flavor of metamorphizing people. Primarily, within the faction, his niche was, I ignore severe terrain. And I mess with terrain based on that. Bass now is the tracker, essentially, that does that, except he's outlaw cowboy themed. And I think that's fine. He's a law wizard.
I find it so fucking funny the bounty system is usable by the birds.
Yeah. I find it so fucking funny that the birds literally had a migration pattern of Arcanist, Guild, Arcanist over the course of
full circle.
Yeah,
Yep.
like, it's not great. It's fine. Those that aren't quite familiar with how Bass works, Bass 1 hands out bounties to bounty tokens to enemies. Bass 2 hands out badges to friendlies. So it's a law. It's a
Yeah. He's
West.
deputizing or he is bounty hunting.
Yep. But specifically Bass 2 friendly non-peon, non-beast frontier models get badges, but on Bass 1, it's only friendly non-peon frontier models can do the actions that mess with bounty tokens. So a bird can just kidnap someone,
The bounty
hog-tie him.
The bounty is just a bunch of seeds that the person happened to be carrying around in their pockets.
Yeah.
They're you know,
Can just-
they're well trained. They're not immune to, being given a little treat for catching a bounty. Anyone can be paid off.
Yeah.
Can just shake him down for money, I guess.
They're like crows. They find a shiny coin in your pocket.
I guess we did just sort of lose the Beastmaster type character and got someone who does like hang with a decent amount of beast models.
Yeah.
No, I guess it is just birds and the sandworm.
And Paul.
Whoops.
And the raccoon that
And
lives in
Paul.
Nate's hat.
And Paul. Forgot about Paul.
Can't forget about Paul.
Yeah.
What a fucking downgrade. Paul used to be able to be taken in 4 factions, and now he's just down to 1.
Settle down.
Yeah, Paul, I wouldn't call it a downgrade. Paul was out there before trying to find himself. He figured out what he wants out of life.
He has an ability called Ralphie No, so I assume Ralphie is the raccoon.
Yeah.
So we've got that confirmed now.
Weird, can we get an updated Paul model that has Ralphie on the base doing something horrendous? Just for that ability, also so he can hang out with Frederick and Sergeant Walter.
Man's just chewing down on a hand. It's fine.
Chomp.
Yep.
I guess my one question that I'm very interested to like hopefully be answered in the lore is exactly who is giving Bass the authority to do this sheriffing? If he's an Arcanist, I'm like naturally you'd assume he would lose his ties to the guild, which is the one that was giving him like the authority to be a lawman.
Mm-hmm.
Are we just doing like he's technically still working for them? Just we're not allowing him to be dual faction in this case, or what?
I'm wondering.
I would imagine.
Go ahead, Victoria.
I would imagine, given that he's been in the frontier, those frontier towns know and trust him, so they're giving him that authority.
Yeah, I'm expecting there's going to be. I'm expecting the guild has lost some power given everything that has happened. So some of the frontier towns are choosing to be a bit more independent, as it were, is my expectation.
Yeah.
So they're like, hey, you're cool, and the guild kind of sucks. You've treated us well. We're gonna you do the law thing, and we're gonna do our own thing. We can tell the guild to piss off.
Historically, you've been a chill dude.
I like the mustache.
Yeah, and he could, as far as like legal power or whatever, he could probably be essentially mine security, or like either mine security or exploration for new places to mine, or protecting those who are. So he could be doing something like that via the Arcanist, but I think Victoria's got it. I think that makes the most sense with what we know so far.
Especially with the blurb we were able to read, where there were essentially riots that he was told to intervene in by the guild and then didn't, and then Tony said that was cool. Join us, please. I assume again, public opinion more than it already was is probably turning against the Red faction.
Yeah.
Also, like, we already have the example of Innocence, which is basically entirely independent from the guild.
Yeah.
So there could very well be multiple towns out in the frontier, the Badlands, whatever that area is called, that just don't have a guild presence.
Or at least a very limited one.
Or that, yeah. And potentially also the guild officers in those towns that have a limited guild presence might not be entirely super loyal to the guild. So they may appreciate like actual help.
It's 1909. It's a lot easier to get away with shit.
Yeah.
Yep.
News travels a little slower.
Anyone can be a colonel if they want to.
Well, actually, going back, I would have actually want the 8th Arcanist Master to be Native American.
Oh, yes, please.
Because we only have the one
cool.
right now. And she's kind of cartoonishly evil.
Yeah. And I will forever be a little sad about the fact that she's not a werewolf based on her last name.
Yeah, I feel like that's
a missed opportunity.
It really is.
They initially hinted at that in some of the lore that was a bit of a thing. That's real close to being really offensive, if I recall correctly, to certain
Right.
things. So I think they just outright dropped that.
Which, in that case, good on them.
Mhm.
Though, if it weren't offensive, like, that's wicked cool storytelling.
Yeah. Well, like, if literally calling her a werewolf, I think would skirt that, because that is very much a European Western concept. Yeah. But anyways, yeah, this is the Wild West. We need a little bit more Native American representation in our leadership. And Arcanist would be perfect for that.
Yes.
Yep. One reason I'm hoping for new Ostringer sculpt. Really drive that home. Also because I don't like the previous sculpts. They suck.
Yeah, it's bird legs are fucking bitch.
Yep. And we know from more recent sculpts like Ostera and Twig that Weird has figured out how to bird legs.
You know what's funny? If you have extra raptors models, you use those instead of the birds that come with the ostrichers, because those are a lot larger than the ostrichers birds, and it's really funny looking.
Yes. They're just out here holding a fucking condor on their arm.
Big old bird.
Yep.
I mean, why not? Why not?
Yeah, sure.
Why
Might
not?
as well.
At that point, it becomes a form of personal conveyance.
Okay, but like, if they were that big, I would believe the kidnapping people a little bit better.
Exactly. But what if two Malifaux carried it together?
I like to think that they don't really care what kind of bird it is, as long as it's extremely angry and violent.
Yeah.
To a point where, like, there's one that just has a cassowary.
Oh, God.
Yikes.
One just has a kiwi.
A very pissed off
A
kiwi.
very angry kiwi.
Another one has
Okay,
a very angry
emus.
woodpecker.
Okay, but emus.
Ah, so Australian Ostringers.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Aussie ostriches.
Aussie stringers.
Perfect.
Okay,
No
but like,
notes.
okay, but like, they lost a war against emus. Like, let's be
Yeah.
real.
The Canadian goose with a knife.
Oh, horrible goose.
These are free ideas, Jonathan Weird, just to let you know.
Give us some alt models.
37 all Ostringers. You did it for Rasputina. Come on. Yeah, more stuff we're excited for. That doesn't necessarily have to be like speculation on Master. Stuff we're looking forward to in the game. Specifically game wise. Can be models, can be rules, what have you. I think Weird needs to take another stab at a campaign.
Yeah,
Ooh, that'd be
I've
dope.
been noodling on that for a while recently. That'd be super dope.
I need to get my shit together along with the many other things and get started on Bonanza Brawl. So, looking forward to actually doing that.
Yeah, we should grab an evening at some point and just start banging that out. You know, with all of our copious free time.
And spoons.
And spoons.
And spoons.
Beavers.
Yep.
I'm looking forward to seeing like a lot of the new models. We've been getting a couple teasers, just seeing what the actual the new toys look like. And I'll be curious to see in like a year or whatever what the process for making and integrating a new Gaining Grounds looks like. Because like previously you'd have situations like you can carry over strats obviously between Gaining Grounds with the way they work now, but schemes with the way the branching paths work, you can't really do that. So any Gaining Grounds has to have a new batch of schemes.
Or I mean I don't think there's anything stopping them from going.
Yeah, like you could reuse a scheme, but it would have to have a new path.
Exactly. Like I think you just say if we're using this scheme again, the 3 schemes at the bottom are reset and re-updated.
Right. So I think that'll be interesting to see how that shakes out realistically.
Yeah, that will make like a GG all
impossible.
rather impossible.
Yeah. Like you can mix up
Which would make me
strategies,
sad.
but you'd have to pick a scheme pool.
Yeah.
Or you could make it function in the app. Weird was willing to create like the Omni circle, the big map where all of like all the GG schemes connected to each other somehow in this horrifying chart.
That would look like a chart of the most complex like rock paper scissors ever. I kind of love it.
Again, I don't mind the concept of like you pick your scheme and then you slot in a specific whichever gaining grounds you want set of or schemes for those, and then you choose your strat, whichever. However it ends up working. I'm sure they'll figure it out. They're clever cookies.
Yep.
How are they going to do like the unique and holiday like schemes?
I would bet those will end up being strategies.
Or like game modifiers.
Yeah.
I think what you could do is possibly just like how they do alts and say like this just switches place with an existing scheme and it counts as that scheme.
I could see that. And it's something you have to okay with your opponent beforehand, or we using the alternate schemes. That'd be cool. I like that.
Yeah, I mean, like this is all controlled by the TO anyways, for the most part.
Yeah.
Other things we're looking forward to. I'm excited for new. I feel like every faction's going to need a little bit more fleshing out of their versatiles now. Everyone's versatiles took a bit of a diet, a little bit.
Yeah.
I still forget that I have the stupid golems to pick from. I'm probably never going to take them. God, I don't. Yeah, I can like. We can also like go into things like we're not terribly excited for. I still don't know why the golems are versatile models.
That's
but,
certainly a choice. Yeah.
It's not hurting anything. I'm just not going to take them.
Right.
Yeah. It's only hurting things if they are going, well, the Arcanists can't have any more versatiles. They already have so many because golems.
Sure.
It's like, do we though?
What have they done to my boy? I'll probably take Altus a couple times, but he is very, very specific on when he's going to be useful.
Yeah.
Irina is also a little tight on the time she's going to be brought. I feel like Arcanists are no longer we have the best versatiles, but I don't know who wins that.
I think Thunders is always going to be near the top, if not the top on that one.
Oh, you think so?
I think they just have so many different versatiles to pull from.
That's fair. Yeah.
And enough of them. I don't think any of them had any like vast cost changes this edition.
Yeah.
Their emissary is the only one that has different flavors because you can pick an upgrade for it at the beginning of the game, which I don't dislike. I just wish it would have happened to all of them.
Rezzers have got some real good ones.
Yeah, Rezzers have some real good ones that you can slot in to different keywords really well.
Vex mildly upset that I told her we need Ezekiel.
Zeke! I love Zeke.
Look how mad she is.
You can legitimately run a like Night of the Living Dead zombie horde if you bring Asura. Grant did that to me in our game at Gen Con, and I spent way too many actions removing zombies from the board. Because if I didn't, they would have legitimately just been like, oh, that is just a mass of models that I can't do anything with.
What was that, hon?
I didn't say anything.
Okay. Other stuff.
It's not game specific, but I am looking forward to kind of the event calendar ramping up here. I know our friend Cole is running his Battle for the Bay in Toledo on October 11th. So if you are looking for an event to go to, he always puts on a good one. That is at the Dragon's Roost in Toledo, and it is delightful. It is coffee shop, game shop, and they have just amazing coffee and tea and snacks and a very nice play space.
What are your thoughts on emissaries?
They fill kind of an interesting spot. Just because the quick study is such a like just all around good ability, so like you're always kind of considering it as a keyword model either way, emissary or effigy. Like a lot of times, especially since a lot of the crew card abilities or actions are unique model actions, like you can, especially for effigies, you can fill out that for 2 stones. It's insignificant, but if you just want a bot to do your crew card action, I think that's usually a good way to go. And then the emissaries for 8, I mean, the ones I've seen seem pretty solid. The Bayou effigy is really good. Lucky, our emissary.
Yep.
You be steamrolling.
Flamatar be pretty solid.
Yeah. They're really good. The quick study is a great ability. cautiously afraid that it's going to overshadow too many models inside of keywords, and we might see them being overused. But we'll see. In that case, that they just need a little bit of an adjustment.
Yeah,
It's fine.
I also kind of see it as a good tool for like a newer player to maybe, you grab your crew box or crew boxes and you pick up the emissary, and that gives you flex space in your keyword.
Yeah.
Without having to branch out too crazy.
Yep. And that suddenly becomes, if you start picking up another keyword, it's transferable.
Exactly.
I get where you're coming from, Doug, concern-wise. I think time will tell on that one. Certainly there will be crews that like a given emissary more than others. I haven't looked too close, but I assume the Angry Groot in Neverborn still basically just comes along with Faye.
If I remember, that's not a bad play, yeah.
Okay.
Forest Queen hires Tree, more at 6.
Right. Crazy how that works.
Okay. 2 more things. One, lore speculations. What do you think's going to happen this edition? Because last edition it ended up being new faction and then cleaning up fucking Herbert Kitchener's bullshit from the second edition.
Yeah.
God damn it, Herbert.
In a lot of ways, kind of what we were talking about earlier, I feel like we're going to be dealing with kind of the fallout of that. It's been essentially nearly apocalyptic event in a lot of ways. Like, things have moved on, but everything is different now. So and I think that's where a lot of the draw a line in the sand marketing is going into is, everyone has to kind of like bolster into their factions to make sure, everything doesn't fall apart around everyone's ears.
Yeah. I think we read previously that something probably woke up Meridian in a bigger way.
I mean, Banished seems like a pretty clear indicator of that.
Yeah. So I would imagine Meridian's going to be a sizable something.
Well, there's only one thing stopping as a buffer between Malifaux City and the ocean. That might have to require Bayou be involved in the story somehow. We can't have that.
Clearly, the robots of Ampersand are gonna rise up and take that Bastion role instead. That's why they're in the starter box against the Banished.
I'm calling it now. Either the Bayou book is twice as big as any other lore book.
I mean, it has the best cover, so there's that.
I agree. I fucking agree. Either it's twice as big as the other lore books, or every lore book is mentioning something about what's going on in the Bayou.
We owe it to him.
Yeah.
That would be very funny.
Okay.
You get back pay in lore.
Full edition of back. The Clampets show up in every book.
Yes.
Make up for lost time. Sorry, we couldn't make it to that other book we were supposed to be in.
Just drive by on their fucking tractor. Who the fuck are those guys? It's a goddamn has-been hotel meme again. Anything you want to see in lore, Victoria? Or just excited for the new books we're going to be getting in a couple months?
So many books.
I guess nothing in particular. New books are exciting. I don't know.
Kiara realizes she's been a bit of a dick, and she goes and kisses and makes up and makes out with Molly. Everyone's happy.
I don't see that happening. I feel like if anything, Kira is gonna dip to focus on Earthside. She hasn't. Granted, she's still in the faction, but I feel like if there was gonna be any sort of huge lore shenanigans with Kira, that would be it.
I figure she's gonna hunt down Jack. Be like, give my booze body back. And get Jack ass.
Boo.
That artwork of hers is way too spicy. Jesus.
The new Kurai model?
Yes.
She's gonna go seduce Jackdaw out of her boyfriend's body.
I mean, he's in the faction now too, fully, so,
Yep.
Maybe she's like, well, I can work with this.
We have some problems, but we'll bang them out. It's okay.
I mean, isn't Jackdaw really bent on revenge? Like, I mean, maybe they're more alike than they know.
Yeah.
I'm intrigued by the choice of kind of, I don't want to say generic, but like non-specific characters on the faction books for the art.
Yeah.
it's an interesting choice. I don't know if it specifically means anything or if it's just kind of to give a vibe.
Yeah, definitely give a vibe.
Like the
versus
Explore Society book.
Guy getting
With
tentacled?
the damp tentacles. The damp, veiny tentacles.
It is important to keep your tentacles damp.
And me in the background screaming about it.
Yeah.
Nate's just on every cover.
He really is.
I'm just every skinny, bearded, or mustachioed ginger man.
Yep.
It's a really easy
need to add
profile
more-
to make characters for, apparently.
Yeah. They just I'm telling you, they just need to add more orange-shaped ginger mans so that, we can both be in the game.
Fully represented.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, but now I'm attached to the idea of the Resurrectionist book just being a slow burn romance between Kirai and Jackdaw.
Nice. I kind of want with that, I want Molly to be like doing a reporting thing from the shadows on it.
on their like enemies to lovers romance.
It's written by Molly.
She is there like a
she's either writing it as a book or she's writing it as a gossip column or as a a serial. So here's this week's chapter in the paper.
No, but there's a Resurrectionist newsletter.
Of course there is.
Yeah, I mean, how else do you know when the Dead Man's Ball is coming up?
If Kirai
Exactly.
starts kissing Jackdaw, August Heart's gonna get real jealous.
Like I feel like the majority of the Kruligans come from Nellie's dead newsies.
Yeah.
Oh no.
So they know what their job was in the previous life, so she just gives them newspapers to deliver.
Yeah, it really is just an employment transfer.
Yep.
But also, I feel like August Hart is just there trying to like break them up, and every single one of his shenanigans backfires and brings them closer together.
He is to Miranda what she was to Lord Cooper's plans.
Yep. Every episode of this ends up with August Hart blasting off again.
Okay, but the artwork for the Resurrectionist book, it's just kind of a hottie there.
I don't remember what it looked like.
It's a lady just raising a bunch of zombies. She's kind of hot.
Okay, let's see. Hottie.
Like,
hottie.
like they're obviously meant to be non-specific, but like in my mind, she's the gal from the Dead Man's Ball story.
Yep. And she should absolutely be the next Reser Master when we get around to adding more masters to other factions.
Hottie. Yeah, the only one I'm not declaring hottie is just non-negators that way.
I love these gremlins. I love all of their tactics.
They look somewhat competent.
There's the one with the not nearly big enough net, the guy who is just pouring his shotgun shells into the swamp, and the one who has a saddle, the bravest lad, approaching the gator from the front with a saddle. And then there's a frog, so obviously the frog makes this a 10 out of 10 book cover.
And a turtle.
There is also a turtle. That is correct.
Spectating.
12 out of 10.
Okay. The lady on the Outcast cover, I'd let her pull my soul out through my eyeballs. This is fine.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. I mean, what are you really using it for anyway?
I wonder what the guy on the Arcanist cover thinks about trains.
Oh, he all about trains. That's Train Man if I've ever seen one.
I mean, Neverborn cover. No, background Neverborn cover guy.
Oh, that is an individual. That is
Name's not into monsters.
That's what I want out of this film.
I didn't say no. I'm just saying that is an individual.
That's a guy back there.
Also, I didn't realize just how many Terratots there are.
There's
like
so many.
4, 5, 6, 7. Every time I look at this, there is another Terratot that I missed.
There's like a gang.
It's the full Neverborphanage.
3, 4.
Ah.
There's 9 of these
5,
little
6,
fuckers.
7. Yeah, there's just a ton of
That's
them.
many.
That's so many.
Yeah, thought of another thing I want out of the fluff. I want more catty call and responses between Gretchen and Lucius.
Yes.
By the way, that's I'm calling that now as the title.
The Neverborphanage. Yeah, that's valid. That's good. Yeah, the guy in the back there, he looks like the alleyway Echo, but like less goopy.
Just a tall guy.
Just a big guy.
Yeah.
Big fella.
Blah blah blah. Anything else? Where's my checklist? Down there's lore speculation. So I guess that's all of it. We've got it out. Oh, the one thing I want like quote unquote announce, but I decided I was going to do, and obviously I want the entire community to help with this because I think it's a cool idea. I have no idea where I would host it either, but I've decided that I am doing themed boards for terrain because 4th edition has necessitated us changing up how we do our boards. And I'm technically a TO, even though my local scene has kind of died for the most part. And like a genius, instead of modifying my old sets, I decided I would just start building a new board, which has become two new boards at this point. Through that, I have decided to theme them around specific masters. So now I have 2 midnight boards. One of them is going to be a Seamus board, and the other one is going to be a Molly board. And because of that, I thought, hey, you know, it'd be cool if we as a community made themed boards, one for each master. I wonder if we could do that, get everyone together, and then just have like just photograph it or whatnot, but like be able to say this is sort of representative of each of these masters, something that they could possibly call their home turf.
I mean,
It's
I've
fun.
had a plan to make a Star Theater board for a while now, and with the new terrain rules, I think it's much more possible to make a fun one. So I'm going for it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, weirdly enough, I'm still trying to figure out how to do a Tony board, but we'll say that Seamus and Molly is a gift to Victoria because initially it was just like, how do I do like a midnight, like late night board? Because there's a lot of ambiance to having a fight, you know, by lamplight, and so it just worked from there. Still waiting to hear back from Mars about getting like a custom mat that looks like cobblestone under lamplight, but we'll see how that goes.
Worst case, again, get a mat airbrush.
Yeah, I think he might have a daytime version of that. Anyways, anything else? We can just call it good.
I think that's good.
Yeah. Just a nice, easy celebratory. We're in 4th edition. Hell yeah.
Yay!
It's going to be a good time. We're all going to have a good time. We're all going to have a good time. You better have a good time or I'll find you. And not in a fun way. Probably.
You say that, but
I say that. I don't know when I'm going to find you either. I'm not the best at finding things, but it will eventually happen. You never know when. Right. Okay. we're done. Hi. Thank you for listening. I've been your host, Douglas Scoundrels, and with me, thank you for joining me, Victoria.
Yep.
And Roman.
it's a me.
And Nathan.
Yaha!
And thank you for listening. And as we always say, fun is always king. Enjoy your new shiny edition.
Do it.
And
Yay.
God
Do it, you
damn it,
cowards.
Herbert.
God damn it,
Um,
Herbert.
God damn it, Herbert.
Still
That should be the fucking tagline of 4th edition.
Been like dead for like
Alpha
2
4th edition.
years.
God damn it, Herbert.
God damn it, Herbert. Are you still causing problems?
Bye.
Bye.
Songs used in this production are Villainous Treachery and 5-Card Shuffle. All music is created by Kevin MacLeod and is licensed under Creative Commons.